Pranams. Happy Monday to everybody. Broadcasting live here from the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram in SoCal, aka Santa Cruz, California. My name is Vaidehi, and I know that we're just starting to go live, so I just want to see who's here and say hello. If you're just coming on live, please let me know you're here. Say hello and comment in the comment section and let us know that you are here. So today we are starting a new week, and spring has begun, and also the parikrama is beginning, right, in Navadut, visiting all of the holy places and engaging in Harinam Sankirtan, grand congregational chanting. And really these journeys and experiences on parikrama are so beautiful and definitely so very abundant on all levels. So just knowing that that's going on right now, and you can visit these places by visiting mentally and also digitally by tuning in and watching the live streams every day and hearing about each of the islands and each of the pastimes that have taken place. So make sure you don't miss that. And one of my favorite books that I would like when I was living in India that I would read often around this time is the Navadut Mahatma. And it's such a great book for really connecting to some of the pastimes that have happened in these beautiful places. So if you haven't already read that book, or if you have and you'd like to revisit it, make sure you go check it out and read this book and take some time with it. Really meditate on it, and you can follow along for each day in each of the islands as well. And there's so many messages there, not just the pastimes, but of course so many messages on devotional and spiritual life. And I'm sure many devotees will also be sharing and posting, lectures and pictures. You'll be able to find plenty of materials for that. So make sure that you stay connected. And I'm sure that here on Facebook and Bhakti Connect, there will be opportunities to get in touch with more of this divine spiritual content. And of course, remembering that even though you may not physically be there for the Navadut Parikram, the mental visits are just the same, okay? You may not be there to experience them in your body, in your physical body, but you can experience them mentally. And it's not even about just your experience, but it's actually more about the opportunity to receive what's being distributed during this Navadut Parikram. So really it's about the distribution and the celebration of the distribution of the holy name, and the celebration and distribution of the pastimes of our divine guardians, the celebration and the distribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his movement, his Harinam Sankirtan. That's what this is about, and that is truly what the mood of Audarya is. So last week we talked about this mood of Audarya, and I said that I wanted to revisit this again and talk more about this mood of Audarya. This will probably be a conversation that will last for the next, for today and also for next week. And the parikrama that's happening right now very much is connected to this conversation about the mood of Audarya, of distribution. So before we begin, just want to offer pranams to our Guru Varga, and I'll just begin by chanting Panchatattva and a couple of invocations. So Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gauda Bhaktavrinda Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Gyana Gyana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jayana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpataruyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. And we might as well chant the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And in fact, I thought that there's no better way to embody this mood of Audarya in celebration of the Navadut Parikrama than by chanting and doing a little kirtan. So it's just me here. Wish we had either I had more arms or there was someone to play mridanga, but I can play kartals and sing. And I can play mridanga and sing too, but let's see. We'll begin with just some Maha Mantra. So I will sing and you can do the response so that we can chant together. And this is truly how an understanding of the mood of Audarya comes, is by chanting and by distributing this transcendental sound vibration. And distributing can even mean distributing to our own existence. So let's do a little bit of chanting, okay? Here we go. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Jai Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Kandarvika Giridhariju Ki Jai. So, Jai, if there's anything that can give us an understanding of what this mood of Audarya is, and what abundance is, what giving is, what dedication is, it's Harinam Sankirtan, and practicing in that. And that is why I wanted to start with Kirtan today, because chanting and Kirtan is really the only vibrational frequency that we can find on this planet that is infused with Chintamani, right? With transcendental touchstone, Shabda Brahman, right? Transcendental unlimited sound vibration, the form of Krishna, Hari Nam, right? So this name of Krishna is, or it contains everything. It contains everything we are praying for, imagining, desiring, and everything that is required for practicing life and for spiritual life. And it is really our ultimate sadhana. So when we talk about this mood of Audarya, we can't even step up to the plate without first speaking about Harinam Sankirtan. And truly, also, this idea of vision. You know, what is the vision? What is the ideal? We won't understand that without connecting with Sankirtan. And this mood of Audarya is inherently tied to vision. And what is that vision? That vision is the mood of distribution, the mood of giving this holy name, and of really engaging in sadhana, in spiritual practice. And without that, there's no foundation. Without that, there is no magnetism, no attraction, no abundance, no really opportunity. And even our vision can be empty without Harinam Sankirtan and this mood of distribution being a part of it. So when I think about this mood of Audarya, and I've been thinking about this, it really requires, I'm sure so much more and so many more people can explain this, abundantly better. But here is my $5 worth of understanding that I'd like to share, because this is what's coming. And I say that because you too have a mood and a vision and an ideal and a heart aspiration. You too have your connection to this transcendental sound vibration, to your guru, to your practice that is unique and personal to you. And so your revelations and your divine inspiration, your inspiration and what you're receiving in this life as you engage in your sadhana bhakti, your spiritual practice, is a part of how you can engage in this mood of Audarya and in this Harinam Sankirtan. We all have a role to play, and how fortunate are we to have a role to play in this divine transcendental pastime of sharing Harinam Sankirtan on this planet. And this phrase that I really love, self-improvement through distribution. And I'll share that it is through experience, through the experience of sharing or trying to explain this to others, that I have received any insight on anything. If I wasn't practicing kirtan or speaking to people about spiritual life and Krishna and, Maha Mantra, I wouldn't have anything, right? Because really the act of Shravanam Kirtanam is the purificatory action that is required to clear the space for more capacity, for more vision, for more connection and understanding of the ideal. And the ideal and the vision is really a mood of devotion that co-aligns with the distribution of the holy name of Harinam Sankirtan and the spiritual practice. So, this is kind of like an introspective little questioning. What is your connection and relationship with Harinam Sankirtan? Do you know? And if you don't know, find out, right? By engaging in it. And if you do know, that feeling, that experience, and I'm not talking about some dramatic feeling, I'm talking about some deep, inherent, like when you take medicine and you feel better, that feeling that you have, that connection to transcendental sound, to Maha Mantra, is your connection. And that's sacred to you. And that connection is part of your vision. And that vision is coming from Sri Harinam Sankirtan. So, there were times in my life as a teenager where I was like, if this is Krishna consciousness, I don't want it. But each time and time again, right, I would reconnect to the Shastra, reconnect to the scripture, and it would completely revitalize and reset and remind me of that connection that I have. And that connection that I have is what's kept me engaged and active. It's my why. So in the world of coaching, which is what I do, I coach and mentor That's one of, the things that I do in my everyday life is mentor and coach people, which is great because I often find myself talking about kirtan, and my coaching sessions sometimes turn into singing kirtan and songs with my clients and teaching them the holy name. And, there's this concept of establishing your why, understanding your why. When you can get in touch with your why behind something, that why is what's going to carry you through the struggles, the trials, the tribulations. When you get in touch with that why, that vision, that's what's going to keep you connected. And this applies to coaching, and this applies to spiritual life. And I'm not just inventing these ideas or this concept, but these are actually also things that I heard from Srila Govinda Maharaj when I would have conversations with him. I remember one of the things he had said to me was, keep your vision. And I literally think about everything he said to me pretty much every day. And it's like amazing that those words that he spoke to me have become my food and my sustenance. And so he said, keep your vision. And what was my vision, and what has been my vision? It's always had to do with singing and sharing and talking and telling stories and entertaining, whatever it is, but it's about talking about Krishna and whether I'm singing or dancing, right? So this idea of, we all are here in this spiritual practice. We are all here in this community and engaging with this transcendental sound vibration and with the Shastra and the classes and the devotees. But we all also have our unique intrinsic God-given gifts and nature and inclinations. And I'm always going to kind of bring this into the stream. This is always kind of like the beat. It's my journalistic beat that I'm always on, is how to bring Krishna consciousness, spiritual life into your everyday life so that they're not different and something you just do on Sundays, but something that's a continuous meditation and an everyday experience and practice. And so we each have our own gifts and abilities and ways of, thriving and sharing our soul, our inner spirit, who we are in this world. And the sooner you get in touch with understanding what those things are, and your connection to the holy name and to the, Shastra, Guru, and all of those things. And the sooner you get in touch with your vision in relationship to that, the sooner you can align your existence, your everyday life, and really transform it into your offering. So that when you're working, when you're taking care of your family, when you are driving long hours, whatever it is that you're doing, it is somehow also connected to the very thing that is truly our only sustenance and the only thing we will take with us and carry with us. So this mood of Audarya really begins with understanding vision. What is the ideal and what is the vision? And it's not a great mystery. It's actually very obvious what the mission and the vision of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and our Guru Varga is. And that is that in every village and every corner of the world, every man, woman, and child will hear this transcendental sound vibration. No mystery. So it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, how much money you have, how much position you have, nothing external matters. Doesn't matter who you are, whoever you are, whatever you are, anywhere in the world, you can engage in this practice of Shravanam Kirtanam, of hearing and kirtanam, speaking and sharing. And that is how this mood of abundance becomes self-evident and self-revealed in your life. And that is how vision manifests. You have a vision of offering and being in service in a particular way. Great. Begin by sharing Harinam Sankirtan and spiritual practice and spiritual life with yourself, with others. And you will watch how synchronicity, Papa, domino effect of synchronicities and abundance and opportunities and blessings will come your way. Without that, the vision is null and void. Without that, I would say it's null and void, right? So establishing your connection to, who you are in relationship to serving, the spreading of this transcendental sound vibration is to establish your life purpose and your sadhana, because it will keep you in alignment and it will keep you, on what's that? It'll like check you. It's like a checks and balances system. And so here's the thing. Krishna can manifest himself physically in this material world. And, when we read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we hear of the Manvantar avatar, the Yuga avatar, the, Leela avatar, and all of these different avatars and incarnations of Krishna that come into this world. And they come and happen in certain times. But what's powerful about the holy name of Krishna is that it does not require some, not that Krishna's physical form would be a material manifestation at all. It's completely transcendental. But sound vibration is the closest thing we have. Krishna comes into this world through sound vibration. Sound vibration is closer to spirit than earth, fire, water, air, etc. And so Hari Nam reveals himself through sound. And it is non-different than Krishna himself. In this case, Sri Radha Krishna himself, herself, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of the holy name. What did he do all the time? Shravanam Kirtanam. What did he say? That there's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way but to chant the holy name of Krishna. What was his message? Chant the holy name of Krishna. What else did he say? Forget your caste, your creed, your position, abandon all that stuff because it doesn't matter. Chant the holy name of Krishna. So to really be, a missionary and to really be in service in our full potential requires engagement with Harinam Sankirtan, right? So how can we serve the holy name? Right? By singing, by sharing, by chanting, by speaking, all the 9 processes of devotional service, but most importantly, this transcendental sound vibration, because it is through this holy name that we can even create temples and attract new sincere seekers and plant these seeds of bhakti. And it's also the way that we purify our own existence. A lot of people that are coming in contact with spiritual life, with meditation, are becoming more and more aware of spiritual hygiene and how important it is to cleanse the mind of the constant doings and activities of our material life. And we know that it can be draining to simply be engaged in material activity. And, we often experience that after working long days in the office or at the job or taking care of the family, you come home and you're like, bah, I don't want anything else but to just like, bah, like just sit here. And I have found that when I take the opportunity to chant my japa throughout the day, first thing in the morning, and take breaks to be just still and to be present to the moment, like I am a soul having a human experience, and I'm gonna pause all the activity that I have going on for just a moment, and I'm gonna chant or I'm gonna sing. And it can be as simple as that, if that's all that you can do. So we have to get in touch with that to even begin to understand what the mood of Audarya is. We have to get in touch with experiencing abundance, spiritual fulfillment, really. And I just, it's not necessarily fully related, but I remember hearing about how in the Himalayas, right, the environment is so pure that when you go up into the, topmost regions, the flowers are so fragrant, the soil is so rich, the water is so pure and, alkalizing and oxygenated and all of these things, right? The environment is just so full that your senses are literally receiving, your body, your skin, your lungs, your brain, everything is receiving so much pure sustenance that you can actually lose your hunger, and you'll feel less hungry and less craving, let's just say that, less craving for consumption, because there's a sense of fulfillment. So the holy name is that. And I'm not saying, oh, the holy name will fulfill our material stuff. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the holy name will fulfill you from the inside out. And when things are right in here, things also get right out there. But we have to learn how to connect those dots and how to get in touch with that. And from my personal experience, how you get in touch with that is by practicing it, by making it your own and having a connection with it. My particular nature is that, I'm left-handed, like Ramai Prabhu was here, our Pujari. I'm Aquarius. And, these kinds of people are known to be different than everyone else, creatives. They're like inventors. So I tend to not like to do things like everyone else. And I know that about myself. So I've had to develop my relationship to my sadhana and my spiritual practice in a way that works for me. And I'm not saying, don't go to the temple room and no, go and engage in the sadhana wherever you are. But also learn to make it your own and learn to have your own connection with it. Because that is so powerful. And it becomes a part of your why. When you, as just a general example, right? Mangalarti, 5 a.m. and you have to wake up at 4 a.m. or whatever it is. Or even let's take it to the material world example. You have this job and you have to wake up at 4 a.m. every day to get there. It can be so easy to want to sleep in or to whatever, to quit this job or to, the challenges and austerities that can come with any endeavor. You're not going to want to put up with any of the austerity if you're not connected to your why. Especially if, like all the friends are going to the river camping and you have some homework or some job you have to do. It's going to be very easy to bye, leave that aside and go do the other thing. But if you're in touch with your why, see, if I stay back and do this, it's going to allow me to create this thing that is actually a part of my life purpose. And now it becomes more important than any other thing, than sleep, than quitting, than giving it up for some other enjoyment. So it's so important to connect with our why, but first we have to develop a relationship with our why. And we're not even going to understand what our why is if we don't have a vision and a connection to what real spiritual fulfillment is. So we have to get in touch with experiencing real spiritual fulfillment to understand what our vision is, right? And it's not really that complicated, but what I'm saying is that one proper adjustment creates a domino effect of alignment in everything else. And so it begins with developing a connection and a taste, a why to your spiritual life and your spiritual path. Without that why, it's so easy to just be like, bye. Nah, I'm gonna go do something else. And even if you have a strong why, days go by and you don't chant the japa, right? And that, we're not here to create like judgment pieces or ripples, but just saying is that it's so easy to get distracted without a powerful why. So establish your connection to your sadhana, establish your connection to spiritual fulfillment. And let's just be real. We're all looking for pleasure. We're all looking for fulfillment. We're not going to deny that. And let's also be real that, we have to kind of upgrade our understanding of what pleasure and fulfillment is, because sometimes it's a little misconstrued, like the pigs in the manure, thinking it's like, right? Ecstasy, to be like chilling and playing in manure. And sometimes our understanding of what fulfillment is it needs some refinement. So how can we embody this mood of Audarya, of abundance, of distribution? Get in touch with the mood of abundance and distribution by distributing it to yourself, right? By understanding what that medicine is. Not blindly being like, take this medicine, I don't really know anything about it and I have no experience with it. Nah, right? That's not going to be as powerful as being like, whoa. So you like to read, you like to sing, you like to talk, you like to listen, you like to do art, do you like to perform, right? Do you like to cook? What abundance is flowing through you naturally already? Understand that, because that is a channel from the divine for connecting to bhakti. And again, I speak this from experience and also from the conversations I've had with Srila Govinda Maharaj, right? And the things we hear from our acharyas and the things we read. We also have to develop our own relationship to these things and our own connection to these things, and obviously ask questions and inquire and continue refining and fine-tuning. We're never going to have perfect knowledge because we're never going to have perfect senses and perfect perception. But a blind man can see, and a deaf man can hear, and a mute man can speak, and a lame man can walk and climb a mountain when under the influence of the holy name, transcendental sound vibration. So when you think about, for example, like, we all know Navadut Maharaj, right? Like, what a visionary and how abundant is he? These ideas that are like, and he's spread Krishna consciousness all over Russia. Now he's even kind of like expanding into America, as if that was enough, like Thailand. And I'm sure so many other things that I don't know that he's doing, because he's gotten in touch with the streams of abundance that are running through him. What are his skills? What's his capacity? What are his qualities? He's an artist. He's a businessman. He's a preacher. He's a speaker. He's a jokester. He's a storyteller, right? He knows himself. And so he knows how to channel and distribute through those channels. We have to understand what that is. Not everybody's just gonna, chop potatoes or, not that that's anything less. Some people, that's where they're at. Like, I like to support people in their vision, right? But if you have some unique vision, practice, ability that's flowing through you, that must get connected. Real life example, because I like to share it because I'm speaking a lot from experience, right? And practicing life. I can't make stuff up, honestly. I just can't make stuff up. I'm not like, some pundit that can quote shlokas all day. Although I do like to memorize shlokas because I like to sing them. But I've always had music be something that I love since I was a child, crying on my keyboard in the ladies' ashram in San Jose, telling my mom, Mom, one day I'm gonna be a singer. And she was like, real cute, cool. And then I started crying because she didn't understand the depths of my connection to singing. And I've gotten this opportunity to be able to sing and speak about Krishna. What would have happened if I was like, no, that's not devotional service. I'm not gonna sing and I'm not gonna dance because that's not what devotion looks like and that's not what it looks like, and I'm just gonna deny my own naturally given gifts. And I didn't realize this because I just realized this. I actually realized this because Gurudev told me that. Like, you must sing, right? Gifts for attracting others to Krishna consciousness, right? And so he said so many more things, but what I'm saying, whatever he said to me, it applies to you in your own way. Like, you have gifts from above for attracting others to Krishna consciousness. And self-improvement through distribution, the mood of Audarya happens to be that when you give this to others, your own capacity increases. It's kind of like a magical little trick. It's like, some Alice in Wonderland experience, if you even know what that means and what I'm talking about. Like, there's this magical thing that happens when you distribute and share this with others. Your own realizations and clarity and connection and understanding begins to expand and increase. And guess what else happens? Your attraction to want to hear more increases. And your attraction to want to chant more increases because now you have 10 friends that are asking you a question and you're like, well, I don't really know the answer. Now I have to go read the Shastra to even answer their question. So putting yourself out there and getting visible with being an instrument of sharing and distributing Krishna consciousness is exactly what's required to evolve in Krishna consciousness. And again, we know and we've heard that this is not the age for sitting in the forest meditating by yourself. This is the age for using the tools and everything that we have, including our gifts and our talents, including this body, not to shame it and shun it and punish it, but to engage it and fully engage it. If you're beautiful, get out there and talk about Krishna. If you know how to dance, go dance about Krishna. If you know how to write, go write. If you're strong, go build stuff, whatever. Like, if you're wise and scholarly, go read the Shastra and engage in like being scholarly and wise about that. Whatever it is that you are and that you have, connect it and engage it. We have so many cool devotees here in Santa Cruz, some of them are cooks, some of them are healers, some of them know about construction, some of them are musicians and artists, right? And they engage those skills. So, this mood of abundance, and like when we talk about abundance too, we are, the abundance principles and abundance consciousness and, the laws of abundance and attraction and manifestation. If you feel impoverished and disconnected to your own wealth, that's scarcity mentality right there. If you think something outside is going to give you what you're seeking, a little codependency, scarcity mentality kind of stuff, right? But when you get in touch with your own inner wealth, your own inner abundance, that vibrational frequency is going to be there and it's going to attract more into your life. So the mood of Audarya, of distribution and abundance and wealth begins with recognizing your own inner wealth with what you have right here, right now. Simple living, higher thinking. Simple living. I remember one time I walked in, there were just these little moments when I lived in Calcutta with Gurudev where I would just be like, And I would just like run to his veranda and like sit there. And I'd be like the only one in the room sometimes, and he'd look at me. And sometimes he'd say things to me. And one day I just like walked up to him and sat there like next to him, like at his knee, like looking at him. And he was like, "It is very simple. With your hands, you can clap and sing." And he was going, "Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna." And like, that was like really deep. It taught me, like, again, I love the domino effect. It was like, da, 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 da. It like broke down all these other things that I was overcomplicating in my mind about like, and then I need to have the fruit plate ready, and I need to have the movie and the projector, and I need to prepare the presentation. And I was like feeling overwhelmed because at that time I was doing some preaching in Calcutta and inviting professors and artists from the universities to come to our theistic media center downstairs in the old Judge Bari building, which became a new, the Seva Bhavan, or I think that's what it was called, where Gurudev stayed. And I was so busy with Vishaka. She was my buddy, my partner in crime, or I was hers, whatever. We were each other's partners in crime with preaching in Calcutta, and we'd go out and distribute and share magazines and, our books. And we did Harinam in Calcutta, and we're chanting, and we would bring people back. And, I always like to be so busy and doing so much. And I was feeling a little overwhelmed and kind of like annoyed with everything. And I just like walked in to kind of get his blessings before some event we were holding. And now I remember more clearly, I walked in to kind of just like little invocation, little offering, like silent, like, like I'm here to just absorb. And he said that, and he gave me something. And again, he gave me something. He could understand my heart, and he gave me something to resolve that. He appeased my heart and quenched my thirst and like dispelled my confusion and grounded me and reminded me like, okay, you don't need to be so like da spinning your head. Simple, sing and chant, bus. And I remember that, like that totally checked me. And instead of being all like an anxiety about like, everything's not perfect, I was like, everything is perfect. Complete switch. And that was Gurudev's mood, so abundant and like feeling so much pain in his own, body and not feeling well and giving, right? In so many levels. And if I hadn't been so passionate about wanting to share Krishna consciousness with others, because I don't know, it just made me feel great. Maybe a selfish reason why. I just felt alive. I just feel alive when I share about Krishna. And I'm not even really sharing about Krishna, right? But when I talk about even like some shadow aspect of it, I just feel alive. And that's my why, because it makes me feel alive. And that why carried me. I felt such a fulfillment from it that my whole life revolved around that. That's why I got my education in radio, television, film, because of Gurudev told me to finish my school, right? So again, using all the skills for engaging. Like I know so many devotees now are editing videos and helping with the Bhakti Connect and with the Seva Ashram website and videos and all of these things. So talented, right? And I remember when I was like one of the only ones doing video, like, and a bunch of like the older devotees. I was like, cool. I'm like 16. So, how can you be one of the bumblebees distributing this sweet nectarian nectar, honey, sweetness, elixir? How? What can you do? Get involved. Call 1-800-Harinam Sankirtan today. No, seriously though, like where are you in the world? Where's the nearest devotee or temple? You don't have one? Make one in your home. Invite some friends, have some kirtan. Turn on your camera, sing. I have this friend, very beautiful ISKCON devotee from Los Angeles, and she's very beautiful and has a beautiful voice. And sometimes I'll go on her Instagram and she's just going live with her japa in her hand. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, chanting or singing, right? So where are you in the world? Turn on your camera, chant. We actually, SOS, planet Earth is in danger. We need to chant more, right? We need to actually lift the vibrational frequency of this planet. Srila Janardhan Maharaj, oh my gosh, he said the coolest thing ever the other day. Oh, so cool when he always drops gems, but that right there was just in alignment with something that I was thinking about. And he said something like, I think I mentioned this in one of the, conversations I've had here, but about how the Akashic field is getting filled with so much contamination from the lying and the cheating and the sins of the world and all of these things. And it's literally lowering our vibrational frequency. Simple experiment that the Japanese, I forget if he was a chemist or a scientist, he did this experiment with the cells, the cellular structure of water, right? And when you yell at it, it makes these gray kind of formations. And when you put it with love and positive mode of goodness, sattvic kind of vibrations, it's la, they look like beautiful, pristine crystal snowflakes, right? The vibrational frequency and the molecular structure of our existence, our planet, right, is being downgraded and kind of encroached upon by maleficence, right? And by kind of this other culture, the demonic culture, right? Whatever it is. And it is our duty and our job and our calling and our purpose and our directive to change that by engaging in Harinam Sankirtan. So this is an army. Our captains and lieutenants are our Guru Varga. We're soldiers. And, engaging in Harinam Sankirtan is how we get in formation, right? No matter where you are, whether you're actually congregationally chanting or whether you're chanting alone or whether you're just blasting it through the sound waves here on the internet, do it. Just do it. And so that came to mind as I was thinking about this topic of Audarya, that really there's no Audarya anything. There's no anything actually without getting in touch with your connection to transcendental sound vibration, your relationship to it, understand it, develop it, cultivate it, and also an understanding of yourself and who you are and what channels, what creative channels, what skills, what gifts you have for engaging in this process. We cannot imitate, we can only be who we are. Might as well align who you are in your truest sense with your relationship to sound vibration, the transcendental sound, to kirtan. And that includes sadhana, it includes sadhu sangha, it includes seva, and all of the full package comes with it. But it's the first step, really. So yeah, I remember standing next to Gurudev. I don't know if I've told this story before, if I've told it here, but I was showing him a video that I had made, and it had, I think it was when we had come back from Veracruz, Mexico on one of his last world tours, and I had filmed the devotees doing their play and their mariachi bands and their stories and dance shows, Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj knows how to throw a party, and he fully engages all of the devotees in their gifts in connection with, transcendental sound, with Harinam Sankirtan. That's, he's so expert at that, at engaging people with their gifts, and that brings them joy because they feel useful, they feel inspired. It's who's not going to want to participate and give when they're feeling great and inspired and useful in their nature, in who they are, in their gifts and their skills that they have to offer. You're not going to have to try to get something from them. They're naturally going to give it because they're being properly engaged, right? So yeah, Srila Ashram Maharaj had, I mean, it was a full schedule. I was like, oh my gosh, we're on a bus now. Now we're in a mariachi band. Now we're in a restaurant hall having like a Mexican party. Like now there's someone doing flips. I was like, there's so much going on. Now we're like hundreds of devotees in the middle of downtown Veracruz chanting. Now the TV crew's here. Like there was so much going on. And I had made a video for him. And I was showing Govinda Maharaj this video. And I was feeling so excited because I felt inspired by Ashram Maharaj and the way he engaged all of the devotees. And I love, you know, art and entertainment, the performing arts. And, you know, I always felt like, oh, if I shine too much, I'm just going to get shunned and made fun of. People think I'm putting on a show. But no, it's actually my nature. Might as well embrace it and engage it, right? And so I always felt like a little bit shy about really being who I am because maybe, you know, people around me aren't like that or they don't get it. And so to be able to see all those devotees engaging that way was so inspiring. And so I was standing next to Govinda Maharaj and I said to him, I just couldn't help it. I was like popping with excitement. I was just like, ah. And he was watching the video and I said to him, I can't, one day I want to share Krishna consciousness through all the art forms. And he was like, acha? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, through singing, dance, writing, plays, speaking, entertainment. And I like went off on some long list and he was like, Krishna will bless with that. Like he was like, just like, yeah, right on. Like that'll happen. It's going to happen. But it wouldn't happen if I didn't really embrace, you know, how it is that I have a connection to Harinam Sankirtan through that. It wouldn't happen if I didn't take time to really self-reflect and to create a sadhana practice so that I can receive the guidance. It wouldn't happen if I wouldn't put myself out there and let it be known that I have this desire, right? So it's so important to claim it and to reflect and to understand what that desire and that vision is for you. And trust it and, you know, check in with your guardians, check in with your devotee friends and read the Shastra, check in with the Shastra, you know, pray to Gurudev, check in with Gurudev. He's here. You know that, right? I hope you all know that. Like we all have a connection to Gurudev and he reveals himself. So if you've been praying for a sign, this is your sign. This is your message. That project, that vision that you have, that idea, it's time. Plant the seeds now and begin without haste, right? Begin with haste. Begin now, right? Without holding yourself back. Give yourself fully to engaging in spreading this beautiful, beautiful philosophy and practice and meditation practice. Maha Mantra, right? Mantra yoga, bhakti yoga. There's so many ways that you can describe this according to who you're speaking to, right? So I was thinking about that for this conversation, this ongoing conversation, because I think it's an important one about Audarya, the mood of distribution and abundance. And, you know, it's giving out the holy name and sharing that and engaging with it. So I hope that this has somehow been inspiring. I hope it's helped you. I hope that, you know, I can be an instrument to share. I mean, honestly, here's the truth of what this is. Like, because of my mom, I got these blessings and got the opportunity to be, you know, raised in this. And because of my mom, I got to meet Gurudev. And because of Gurudev, I got to have some experience and connection to this. And so really all I'm doing is sharing the wealth that they showed me. It's not about me. Okay, so what if I sing nice? Who cares? Great, I sing nice. So what if, you know, I have good qualities? Like, that's great. It's not about me. But I'm not gonna shun them. I'm going to engage them boldly and confidently. And the invitation is for you to engage them boldly and confident. Do you sing nice? Are you beautiful? Do you write? What do you do? Like, take your beautiful gift and do not be shy. Do not hold yourself back and engage it in service. Come and chant, come and sing, come and cook, come and decorate. Come do the hair for the deities. Come work in the garden. come, if you're a therapist, come provide some support to the devotees, right? Call one of your devotee friends. Whatever skills you have, whatever you've learned in this life, in this world, hook it up, connect it. And you'll find that it's just simply going to invite more practice and more engagement with that higher thinking in your life when you can bring it to where you are, right? We don't have to like reach so hard. We can't reach. It comes, right? It descends. So that's the invitation. And I'm seeing some devotees here coming on. Just dandavats to all of you. If you're just joining, we are just ending, but you can watch the replay, and I hope that you do. And please feel free to ask questions by posting in the comments section. Please continue tuning in every Monday at 7:30. I will be sharing, and I'd like to continue this conversation of Audarya, of the mood of distribution and abundance, and your relationship to that, and how you can continue engaging in experiencing that divine abundance and sharing it with others, and how important it is to very much be realistic and know yourself and engage what you know about yourself in this practice. Make it accessible, make it a part of your everyday life. It doesn't have to be some big thing like Gurudev said, hands, clap, and sing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, right? So wherever you are, from the east to the west to the north to the south, we have here someone from East London. Dandavat pranams. By the way, I just want to say, like, all of you are so auspicious. Like, all of you that are watching are like, yeah, you're like these devatas that are like blessing. This is a blessed moment, right? Like all of us connecting here together. So please take a moment, wherever you are, whoever you are, from East London, from Santa Cruz, from Mauritius, wherever you are in the world, and just bring your hands together, and just, if you like, you can close your eyes, but get present to how many beautiful devotees are here right now watching, and the fact that we're together right now, remembering. And just send a blessing to all of the devotees that are here. Send a blessing for inspiration and enthusiasm. Enthusiasm, why do I feel like I said that wrong? And for inspiration, determination, conviction, dedication, right? All of these beautiful words, full self, Atmani Vedanam, right? That we can continue to be blessed with engaging in this process and this practice, and that we can continue to receive the blessings to become instruments, and that the more we can support each other and be friendly and kind and encouraging and work together, and or alone, if that's how you roll, the more we can really be part of this prophecy, right? Of sharing this, so that in every corner, every man, woman, and child can be engaged with this Shabda Brahman, this transcendental sound vibration, this Maha Mantra. So talk about Krishna, share your heart, find someone you can confide in, and reveal your heart, because sometimes we can get stuck, and that stuckness creates more stuckness. And sometimes emotional things make us stuck, and we like forget that we're humans and we have emotions, and we need support sometimes to clear those things and to feel heard. So how can we be a support for each other and help us gain perspective? And how can we be a stand for that, for not letting the mind become the worst enemy? How do we make the mind not our worst enemy, but our best friend? Guess how? By chanting the holy name and by speaking about Shravanam, Kirtanam. So let's heal our Kali Yuga minds and help heal a little bit the wounds of this Kali Yuga, the collective suffering that is going on, right? and honestly, protecting ourselves with this chanting is of utmost importance. So Dandavats from Tijuana, Dandavats, welcome. So I'm going to sign off here. Here at the Seva Ashram, we all take turns. We take turns taking care of the deities. We had one pujari who forever, his name was Ramai Prabhu. He took care of the deities his whole life. This temple has been here for 25 plus years. And he took care, he was the sole caretaker of the beautiful deities, Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari. And it's literally taken like an army of us to like do what he did in a very diluted way. Like, how powerful is that? Like, this devotee is so powerful. And so tonight, another devotee offered the boga that was cooked in the kitchen by another beautiful devotee and opened the curtain. And now I will put them to rest. I'm gonna just go ahead and turn the camera so you can all have some darshan. By the way, you know, here's the temple room. You all know, if you've been watching the live streams. Hold on, let me lift my little tripod to stand up. This is their home, this is their domain, and they give us shelter here. They are the owners of this beautiful temple, and they are the ones that decide everything. And I just invite you to have a moment with their lordships. Please offer your prayers, your heart, while you're receiving darshan. And I'll just do a little Maha Mantra and then close because we're over time. And that will be it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev. Jai Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Saparshad Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadraju ki Jai. Vrindavan Purushottam Dham ki Jai. Shri Navadut Dham ki Jai. Shri Navadut Parikram ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardhan Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Nitai God Premanande Hari 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 Bol. Dandavat pranams to all of the devotees. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you feel inspired, share the link with a friend who you think would appreciate this conversation, and find a buddy that you can practice and share your heart with, and perhaps have an accountability buddy for chanting your japa, or for reading the Bhagavad Gita, or continue tuning in to the classes. Thank you so much for joining. Until next time, if you have any questions, please comment in the comment section, and we will take a look at them and answer your questions. Good night, everybody. Hari Bol. Good night, everybody. Good night, or, well, good night over here. Hello, good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world.